The flower consists of the reproductive parts of a plant. Some flowers have both the male and the female reproductive parts. Other flowers have only one reproductive part. The male or the female parts are in separate plants. This is the case in pawpaw plants. Let's study the parts of a flower. This is the stalk. It joins the flower to the parent plant. The calyx. It consists of green leaf-like parts called sepals. Sepals form the bud that protects the inner part of the young flower during development. The corolla. It consists of brightly colored and attractive parts called petals. The stamens are the male parts of a flower. They produce pollen grains. These are the male reproductive cells. Each stamen consists of the following: 1. The anther, which contains pollen grains, and 2. The filament, which is a long stalk that holds and supports the anther. The pistil is the female reproductive part of a flower. It consists of the following parts: 1. The stigma, which receives pollen grains from the anthers. 2. The style, which is a long and narrow tube. The style joins the stigma to the ovary. And 3. The ovary, which contains the ovules. Ovules are the female reproductive cells. The nectary is at the base of the petals and the ovary. It produces nectar. Nectar is food for birds, bees, butterflies, and other small animals. Bees use nectar to make honey. Now that you have learned the parts of the flower, here is a task for you. Label the parts numbered 1 to 11. Let's summarize what we have learned. The flower is the reproductive part of a plant. Let's now label its various parts. The corolla is made of petals. It is brightly colored. The stamen consists of the anther and the filament. Anthers produce pollen, which contains the male reproductive cells in a plant. The pistil is the female part of the flower. It consists of the stigma, the style, and the ovary. The stigma receives pollen from the anthers. The style is the tube that leads to the ovary. The ovary contains the ovules. The nectary is at the base of the flower. It contains nectar, a sweet substance. Sepals look like small leaves. They are also known as the calyx. Sepals protect the inner part of the flower while it is growing in the bud. The stalk joins the flower to the plant. After fertilization, the ovules become seeds and the ovary develops into a fruit.